Stephen K. Peeples is here, and Stephen, you've done a lot of work producing, including, well, actually, one of the things you did that impressed me was the Monterey Pop. Was the Monterey Pop album?
Yeah, that came a little bit after the Lost Lennon Tapes project, and I got that project from Rhino because they figured I knew my way around unreleased material.
But that was a great package. But let's get back to the Lost Lennon Tapes. So when did you start? How did this all come about?
Well, I was a staff producer at Westwood One radio network in the 80s and was kind of a house Beatle maniac along with Barry Hansen, Dr. Demento, a.k.a. And anytime a Beatles type project came along, I was the first one to raise my hand. In '87, Yoko decided to release the Sometime in New York City concert album from the One-to-One concerts from 1972. And Westwood One and Showtime did a simulcast of that. So that involved me writing a pre-show for the radio network, and that involved me interviewing Yoko Ono on the phone. That turned out really good. And then about maybe a year later, we got wind that Yoko and Norm Pattis and Elliot Mintz, who was a friend and confidant of Yoko and John's, and Norm Pattis, who's the head of Westwood One radio network, were making a deal to create a radio series out of John Lennon's personal archives, personal audio archives. And this wasn't public knowledge among the other production staff, but I raised my hand. I said, I'm your man, I'm the guy. And because of the experience with the pre-show, Yoko said, yeah, he's the guy. So they signed off on me. So I got the assignment, and I was assigned a fantastic production engineer named Dave Kephart, who's with me right now, and he's the one who made the scripts come to life.
Dave, say hi real quick.
Hi everybody, thanks Stephen, I appreciate that.
No problem.
There's cowbell here.
And so we got a box of cassette tapes, reel-to-reel tapes, a couple of VHS cassettes and so forth, probably 500-600 hours worth of stuff, pretty much uncatalogued. And this is toward the end of 1987, and we had basically 6 weeks to get through this stuff and start creating radio programs. It was all pretty much done on the fly. And the first show was a 3-hour special to introduce the series, and that aired at the end of January '88. And then the series, the weekly series, hour-long series, started airing in late February of '88. And I did the first 128 programs with Dave, engineering.
Dave, say hi.
Hello. Still here, still engineering.
Through the middle of 1990, first 128 hour-long programs. And it was a great experience. We had nothing but fun in the studio. It was a real labor of love kind of project, and I know Dave and I both sweat blood to make it great. We got a lot of positive feedback. I did go to visit Yoko at the Dakota probably a year and a half into the series, and we were sitting around the kitchen table talking about stuff, and I asked her if she'd ever heard the series, and she says, no, I can't listen to it, it's a little too close. She says, but everybody tells me, everybody that talks to me tells me it's great, they love it, so whatever you're doing, keep doing it. I said, well, you got it. So that was a great experience. We should also, speaking of Yoko, we should also remember that today is Sean's birthday. And he was born in, not today, but October 9th is also Sean's birthday. I'm like time shifting here. Today's my birthday, but John and Sean share the same birthday, October 9th. So I brought along a couple of other things that are pertinent to that, including an early demo track of John in the process of writing Beautiful Boy. So we're going to hear that right now. It's one of the tracks that they were recording for the Double Fantasy album, in September 1980.
Okay, let me run my spots and then we'll hear it. All
Okay.
right, here in the Saturday Club, 88.5 KCSN.
Take one. Darling boy, now beautiful boy.
That Bermuda, that swamp chord squeaking, that just always plagued me. It just really bothered me. And it was on every single one of them. You should know that.
Do you have Michelle on the line there? Ask him where the, oh, never mind, I just found it, they moved it.
Okay, Les, I'm gonna back sell this, and then I'm gonna introduce track 10,
Okay,
which is a later demo. This is a real early demo, and then play a later demo just back to back.
Okay, so-
Actually, you can play them back to back. Just play track 10, and I'll back sell both of them.
okay, that's gonna take me to have to move the thing here. So
Yeah,
back-
say something in between.
so say something in between.
Okay.
Now give me a chance to move up to track 10.
So later on, are you gonna play the composing demo? Is that the one you're playing?
Well, that's the Fritz and Hines one.
Oh, Fritz and Hines. Big. Big.
Should be good now. Okay, should I just leave this on? Yeah. Okay. I thought I had it on, I guess I had it on.
Yeah, Michelle took control.
Oh. He didn't put the spots on the air and I couldn't hear them, did he?
No, there was an issue of, we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
It's resolved now.
Okay.
That was John Lennon and a demo of Beautiful Boy that aired in the Lost Lennon Tapes on the week of October 3rd, 1988. And we have the next pass that John did of the song. And I think it's instructive because you can hear the evolution of the song. So let's hear the next take of Beautiful Boy.
Take two for the swinging lullabies.
What's up next? Track 11?
Let's see.
Or do you want to go back to another earlier, like cleanup time or something?
Let's go to 15.
Okay.
A little Sean interview clip there.
All right. I like this. It's easier. It's a great John picture there, wasn't it? That's that one with the guitar.
Yeah,
That's a great shot.
yeah. I don't know the history of that, but it's circa 68, 69.
had 12 texts from somebody, and it was one word that's on there, just it's weird, I don't even know what it is. It's like,
Are we rolling, Paige?
if I know you're gonna be behind me a little more on Yamaha or something.
Or
I
Beatles?
like this is nice. Okay, we do 15 next, okay, you're gonna back announce this?
Yeah, I'll back announce it and set up. All right, from the late 1970s.
Hold on.
Yeah, from the late 1970s, that was John Lennon and a demo of A Beautiful Boy. That was the Fritz and Heinz take, the second pass after he'd changed the title from Darling Boy to Beautiful Boy. And, you know, we're also celebrating Sean's birthday on Saturday with the Beatles, a Saturday club hosted by Les Perry. And one of the neat things that John did in January '76 was to record a little interview with Sean. And he was very young. He was just a little kid. So let's pick up a little piece of the interview right after father and son, right after John changed his diaper.
88.5 KCSN, it's your Saturday club.
Good cab driver stories about New York. Most New Yorkers seem to have one. No, you don't have any good cab. Have you ever eaten at Elaine's, perhaps? No, you have never eaten at Elaine's. Well, that's too bad.
What track after this?
Let me think. You were around for the Thanksgiving Day parade. I was wondering if you'd like to tell me your impressions of that.
Let's go
Is that what you thought
to,
of
let's cue up 17.
Nothing in particular.
Okay.
But don't you remember when
And
Snoopy died?
I'll back
outside
sell
the
this
window?
and set that up.
Okay, then I'll go to 17.
You don't remember that?
And you can always watch when,
I see. Well, I guess it
watch
wasn't
this.
that important. Oh, he's smiling, folks. Perhaps you'd like to tell me
That's
your
when you know
favorite
you're on.
color. No interest in color. Are you doing any concerts while you're here? Yes, I thought so. You haven't got the group together, I understand completely. I heard that you were backstage at the Dylan concert, or was that just a rumor? An outright lie, my goodness. I was wondering what it's like being the son of such astoundingly famous, beautiful, and talented parents as John and Yoko. I wonder what it's like. Oh, I see. I mean, could you give me, yes, more full background into that. I see you're very fascinated by this black box that I'm interviewing you with, this tape recorder. In fact, it seems to inhibit you a little. I mean, are you conscious or self-conscious about the tape recorder? Well, he turned his head away because he got very paranoid. It's all right, you know. Just think of it
Did
as a
he
very
have,
dark
when
relative.
his tape recorder was rolling, did he have that in the background, Bob Dylan, or did you guys?
No, we added that.
Yeah, no, okay.
Just a
I
short
said,
while
well,
ago.
sounds good.
That it may be possible that you'll never get to see Sammy Davis live, or Frank Sinatra for that matter, not to mention Dean Martin. You've missed Jim Croce, we know that. Ah, that got a response. I know. It seems sad that life could be lived without seeing those people, but... Elton, what about Elton? He's your godfather.
No, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Yeah, I learned something.
Do you want to tell me how it is to have such a famous godfather? Well, I know he's been to see us.
Thank goodness, it's only 30 seconds.
January.
I'll back sell it and pre-sell 17.
Get his phone. Get his address. Well, I think at that point we left the interviewee because he obviously was getting violent at the thought of not seeing Dean Martin and all those people in their prime, as it were.
John Lennon and his very first interview with Sean Lennon when Sean was just a few months old. That's from January 1976, and that was first broadcast in the Lost Lennon Tapes the week of October 3rd, 1988. And we're celebrating John and Sean's birthdays today, and one of the neat things that's coming out this year on October 9th is a brand new book by Chip Mattinger called Lennonology. And Chip is the author of 8 Arms to Hold You, the Beatles solo compendium, which was released in 2000, and he spent the last 15 years documenting everything that John and Yoko did, professionally and personally and creatively, between the time they met in '66 and his murder in 1980. And the new book is called Lennonology. It'll be out on his birthday, and Lennonology.com is the website. People want to check it out. But I thought it might be kind of interesting to talk a little bit about that and a little bit about some of the other things that John was doing on his birthdays throughout the years. And in 1971, he and Yoko went to Syracuse, New York for an art show called This Is Not Here. And while they were up in Syracuse, Yoko arranged a birthday party for John. And it was kind of similar to the Beach Boys party, and then it was a bunch of people sitting around in a room with guitars and just having a large time. And we have a track here that we'd like to play from that particular party. And let's let it rip, Les.
Super Bowl show. Free to get ready now, don't get go, don't you?
Russ, I like that name.
And then Rest.
Take a rest.
Rest Pelly.
Yeah.
Let it roll through 18, which is them singing Happy Birthday to John, and I'll come in after that.
All right. Easy enough.
And then I've got an entry from Lennonology from October 9th, 1968. That's pretty, that I just want to read. That's pretty good.
All right,
We
before
should
you,
probably play a
before you
Beatles
do that,
track.
I do have 2 more spots I have to run because I couldn't run them in that break there, so.
Okay, all right, then
See what
I'll
happens.
just back sell after happy birthday and throw it back to you.
Yeah, let's talk about it. We'll do the regular thing here and then. Lay off for them shoes and don't you step on my blue suede shoes. You can do anything but lay off for my blue suede shoes. You know, his version of slipping and sliding,
Oh,
he talked about, he just really rips on that thing.
yeah, he's
That is
half in the bag.
Yeah, well,
Musicians are half in the bag. That was a rip roll.
so where are you guys gonna go for lunch?
Don't know yet.
There's a new place opened up right on the corner.
Could you number these?
What's it called? That's what's called.
Eureka, it's right there on the corner, as you walk right
Right
down that hallway there.
there.
It's on your left, right hand side. It just opened up, everybody tells me it's good, so.
What kind of place? You know, what kind of food?
No, I'm not quite sure, actually. The way you said it's good.
All right.
See if this track's on its own. I have to do something.
And now,
Oh, good. There should be single, I don't know why that went through there.
hey, do you have the music CD queued up? So we can play a song from the music CD?
I can get it queued up.
Okay, go to track 17. That was John Lennon and Friends in Syracuse, 1971, celebrating his 31st birthday at a show that Yoko was doing called This Is Not Here. It's an art show, and she created a birthday party situation for him while they were all up there. Allen Ginsberg and a bunch of other acolytes and friends are in the audience having a large time. Now, in 1968, on John's birthday, it was kind of a very interesting period of time. I was talking a moment ago about Lennonology, and what Madinger did, the author did, was to create a diary, a daily diary of what John and Yoko were doing. And I just have an entry here from Wednesday, October 9th, 1968. And it reads as follows. Although the summit had originally been scheduled to take place the following day, John and Cynthia Lennon, his first wife, met in Peter Brown's office at 3:15 this afternoon regarding the final settlement of their divorce. Cynthia had not wished to exploit John's fortune and longed to quickly reach a reasonable settlement without exposing details of their marriage to the public. Recounting an earlier telephone conversation, it appeared to Cynthia that John did not share the same goal. He said, "There's nothing to talk about. My final offer is £75,000. That's like winning the pools. So what are you moaning about? You're not worth any more," close quote. She later revealed, quote, "He raised his offer to £100,000. This was broken down to £25,000 for a house and £75,000 to support me and Julian until he was 21. A further £100,000 was put into a trust fund for Julian. I would be allowed to draw on the interest from this to pay school fees, but withdrawals would have to be approved by John and Yoko, who were the co-trustees with me of the fund. It was also agreed that should John have more children, the fund would be equally shared with them. So this comes from Lennonology, which was meticulously researched. I got to give it to Chip. There were so many annotations and citations that he had to put 180 pages of them online to cover the book. So I just thought I'd read that, and it's a fascinating account of their lives together, both creatively and personally. So another thing that was going on around the time was experimentation with heroin in 68 and 69. And they eventually cleaned up. And one of the songs that John wrote in the late 70s, early 80s, as he was preparing songs that would be eventually recorded for Double Fantasy, he wrote a song called Clean Up Time, which had something to do with becoming a parent and growing up, and it's time to clean up.
Okay, now the next thing up on the music one is Lucy in the Sky.
Okay, we're not going to do that.
Okay, well, just let me know.
Let's see, the next one we're going to go to on the Elements to 22.
Okay.
Real Love Guitar Demo.
I like that. That's the one on the soundtrack for Imagine? Or is that's different? It's different, right?
It's actually one take away from the one that was on the soundtrack.
Okay.
Les, this is the cassette
Yeah.
that Capitol burned.
Oh, wow.
I took the master with all the different takes to Capitol so they could digitize it for the film title, and I had them burn a copy on cassette form of their version. So
I
that's,
bring you some, keep it on CD.
I have it on CD.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. That's kind of cool.
But, you know, this is the original digital transfer on 8/11/88. This is an alternate mix of the track. It's quite a bit different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back sell this, reference the Double Fantasy sessions, and then I'll set up the Real Love Guitar demo, because this is one of the songs that he was writing during that period, but didn't finish.
All right.
It was later finished by the Beatles, we know that.
I'll give you time to get down to 22.
Sorry, guys, this happens wherever we need
If you want to get in here, you can do this. Come on down. Oh, you got closer shot?
Hey, why don't you guys get behind me for Paige can get a couple of pictures?
Yeah, party, the party room.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Hold on, quick second.
Oh, yeah.
How much time we got?
We have time.
Okay.
got this new digital cameras about this big. I took a picture the other night at the Hollywood Bowl, Duran. We were about a third of the way up, and took a picture and zoomed in, and it almost looked like we were like right there. It was
Wow.
amazing. Posted it on
What camera is
Facebook.
it? Is it
It's a
Canon?
little Canon.
Wow.
It's
It's gotta be a
amazing. The
Canon.
thing is, freaking amazing.
Board is quite different from the 1980s board I worked
Well, it's a
on.
lot different from the board that's out there.
Oh, I can imagine
See,
that.
we, out there it's all one board, this is three.
So they banned it
So
over
they
here.
put
Let's
the
do it all over again.
CD players over here, and the controls for the CD players over here.
Oh, that's
So I
smart.
put them over here, and now I've got to think of it, it's like here, then I
So
go
now
here.
you're driving like
And
you're in
this, the one
England.
up at the other studio, starts boom, 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 boom. Hit it. Here I have to use a mouse.
You guys
Look at those
posting
things.
pictures?
These are all the spots we're on.
Oh, wow. What?
You guys posting pictures on Facebook?
No.
It was cleanup time. That was an alternate mix from the Double Fantasy sessions recorded in August and September 1980 and not released, but was heard in the Lost Lennon Tapes in 1989.